Good afternoon and welcome to the Prepare to Repair show. I am your host, Steve Suarez with RJ Graham Plumbing. With me today is the employee of the hour, Brad LaHood. And I say hour because I'm a little bit mad at him right now.
That's me.
Yeah. He's calm, cool, and collected, and I'm bouncing off the walls like a cat chasing a laser pointer. So,
Like it.
So we're having fun. We got a great show for you today. We've got Tony Delgado, the smart home expert with Evolution Installs, and we have what's going down in J-Town's very own Tom Maslowski.
Don't forget to listen to the Rock and Roll Diner, 95.9 The River, which airs weekdays at noon. It is sponsored by RJ Graham Plumbing. And if you listen, you can enter. You get a chance to win a $25 Visa gift card sponsored by the one and only RJ Graham Plumbing.
And in case you didn't listen to it or you didn't hear it this morning, today starts the Tankless water heater giveaway. We kicked it off this morning on Scott Slocum's morning show. Log on to the prize vault on WJOL.com to enter. I don't know why I'm even just continuing rambling on it. And also, I want to congratulate Joliet Catholic on their win on WJOL's Game of the Week.
If you're looking for us, you can find us at preparettorepair@gmail.com. You can find us at prepare2repair.com. We are on Facebook, Prepare2Repair, and you can also listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and our YouTube channel, the same name, Prepare2Repair.
Awesome. I am really excited. I'm going to try to slow down a little bit.
You're right.
Just, I'm moving. When they say if you're going too fast, or if you think you're going too fast, you are. So I'm going to slow down here. So the topics we're going to touch on before we bring Tony on is as we prepare for spring, there's some things that we ran into over the course of the last week. And as you prepare for spring, you want to be aware of companies that are soliciting work that they may not be licensed to do. We caught a city in the South area, caught an irrigation company that tried to give out a letter of intent to do a gas line for a fire pit for a customer. Now, the letter of intent is a letter given by the contractor, plumbing contractor, that states what they're going to do and how they're going to do it, materials and so forth. And it also states their license number and everything that they need, that they're qualified to do the job. Now, when they were told that they did not have the license number on the letter of intent, they told the customer that the state didn't give them one yet. And this right here is something that the village caught that the homeowner didn't know about. And it was able to help the homeowner from a potential issue that could have became a problem. For because you would have had somebody that wasn't qualified to touch gas touching the gas.
Right.
So this is pretty awesome on that. You want to make sure that you are asking the right questions, but oftentimes you don't know enough to know what you don't know or what questions to ask. And this is where the municipalities are huge in helping out homeowners. And that's one of the things why we're doing the show. We want people to work with the villages, because permits are not a bad thing. Talking to the village is not a bad thing.
No, and most villages will, they'll have a list of contractors, or if you have a question, you can call your village and they'll gladly help you. It's interesting. There are contractors that have been even known to use licenses of plumbers to do jobs that they are not qualified for. So if you are having work done, you want to make sure that that licensing number on the permit is the same as the company doing the work. It may not seem like a big deal, but it can be a major headache in the event something goes wrong. More so from a liability standpoint. The job goes sideways. There's an issue with somebody gets hurt. There's companies out there that kind of run underneath the radar, and the village is there to help you and to answer those questions and to help point out, yes, these guys are good, these guys are not good, so on and so forth.
Well, the village is just another resource to provide you information that will, you can ask them, I've got this company. Are they registered with you? And they'll be able to check and say, okay, yeah, they were registered, they're licensed, good to go. No, they're not going to tell you if they're good or bad. They're just going to tell you, okay, they're registered. We haven't had any issues with them. So that's just another box to check when you're looking to get somebody. But they are there to, by having these procedures in place, they're there to help you to find, to get all the ducks in a row, so it protects you.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with doing that. There's nothing wrong with having this there. And people will tell you, and I'll say this again, if you have a contractor that tells you, oh, well, you don't have to pull a permit, I'd look harder at that contractor, okay? Because there may be a reason why. So that's definitely something to look at. And as we do that and as we move on, we're talking also to we wanted to talk about this as far as licensing. We're going to bring this on because licensing, background check, which is what we do, is important to our next guest, which is our smart home technology expert, Tony Delgado, who is going to help us. I guess the question or the answer would be, the importance of backgrounds, importance of that in his line of work.
Sure.
I mean, we're doing plumbing and we have people going to other people's houses, but what he's doing is a little bit more invasive. Tony, you there?
I'm here. Hey,
right.
Steve, how are you?
I'm giving you a little bit of an intro on that kind of little backstory because our little conversation we had really intrigued me, and I was talking to Brad here about it. So welcome to the show. I'm glad that you were able to come on and take time out of your busy schedule to be on. It's greatly appreciated.
I appreciate the invite. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're awesome, man. I mean, just seeing all the stuff that you've done over the past few years with your certifications and taking pride in your work. I mean, how could you not? I mean, people need to hear about you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the time here. And yeah, we dive into the whole licensing aspect, especially in my industry, home security. If we focus in Illinois, to its credit, Illinois is very direct to its requirements for those who want to sell, install, and maintain home security systems, including life safety systems. At the end, the short of it all is you must have a license to install any of these security systems in those homes. It is very important. What's the process that we go through as a licensed agency? We hire only individuals that have a security background check. They need to hold a PERT card in order for us to have them as employees or even subcontractors.
What is that?
It's important.
What is that PERT card?
So the PERT card is essential when it comes to home security, alarm, electronic security professionals, private alarm contractor agencies. It's related to the industry and safeguarded by the Illinois Department of Financial and Professional Regulations. So overall, it's individuals that go through intense background checks before they get employed to a job within our company or any security company. Overall, at the end of the day, it's important for us to check their background. We don't want to send just anyone into people's homes. The best peace of mind and delivering safety from the first step, which would be delivering one of our tech installers in-house that's security checked. Then at the end of the day, the client could feel safe. They don't want just anyone walking into their homes, getting a hold of their Wi-Fi passwords, of their credentials for any of their accounts, whether it's for the camera systems that we install, the alarm systems. So crucial information. At the end of the day, it does boil down to starting with safety. That's the goal.
Yeah, Tony, actually, I actually have my PERT card. I did security and process serving and stuff, and it is a thorough background check. And you're right, it's great that Illinois does that, and it's great that you all your guys are carry that. Is there a way for a homeowner to check to see if the company they're using is licensed?
Absolutely. There's a link. It actually falls depending on location. So under the Illinois Department of Financial Regulation, there is a website link, and maybe we will post it on your page at some point. But it does list all the electrical contractors that they're due supervising electrician work, as well as fire alarm under what we fall in under. So it's really, our category is private alarm contractor agency. So it's listed under electrical contractors within the City of Chicago listing. And then for the Illinois Department of Financial Regulation, it's under fire alarms or alarm systems. So there's definitely a way for all the clients to pretty much check our company, make sure we're a licensed firm. And the same goes for all those other companies out there. It's important to check to make sure that they are licensed. In order for you as an agency and as a contractor that's licensed, it's somewhat rigorous to get here. It's simple. Right. It took me many years. In addition to from schooling, it's also a lot of field training, a lot of know-how. At the same time, then it's sitting down and qualifying to take a seat to take this private alarm contractor test. At the end, once you pass the rigorous testing, as I called it, then you still have to become insured by an insurance agency that will cover you, because it's also another insurance that's not so simple to get. It also a process. There's only limited insurers out there. Once you become an insured contractor, if you wish to pursue and push your company, if you have a business, obviously a legitimate business that's registered with the state of Illinois in this state, then you could become an agency. But it also they do their vetting. They also have to make sure that you're a licensed contractor before they eventually say, hey, you're approved to become an agency. You've gone through the background checks that we need. And obviously then you get your separate agency insurance. So it's pretty much, I'm going to assume, the same for a plumbing company or an agency as well.
Similar, yeah.
Yeah, what we do
Very
is
similar, I would assume.
Yeah, we have to, as far as our licensing, we have to go through an apprenticeship. We have to take a test, and then if somebody, that's just to be a plumber, but if they want to go and continue on to be a plumbing contractor, then you have the state license, which encompasses the bond, it encompasses the license holder, it encompasses their workman's comp, it also encompasses their general liability insurance. So you have everything encompassed under the state license for that. Now, here's the thing that what we really need to kind of narrow down. Now, what you do is not just, I mean, even though it's, you do you'll do home entertainment, you'll do home theater, you'll do all of that. But the thing is I don't think people really understand and really grasp a lot of this sometimes. When you have people in your house, it's very important to make sure who they are and to know who they are, because you're putting in, you could spend all this money on this security system. You can have the best of cameras, the best security system, the best locks. None of them mean a thing if you let people in that you don't know. You'd get somebody off of Facebook. Honestly, Facebook is Craigslist with a picture, and because you don't know who is what, and they're saying who they are. I mean, you don't even know who the people are actually half the time, because they'll go by a middle name, they'll go by a moniker or whatever the case may be. So the main thing is, and you've seen movies about this, about having people that are just a little bit, not a little bit on the weird side, that kind of will take a job like this and can really get into somebody's life. Because when you really think about what your Wi-Fi, what controls Wi-Fi, how much of our lives are actually on or electronic. Mm-hmm. So you need somebody such as yourself that is a stand-up guy, that is reputable, that has taken the time. That's the key thing. Like you said, taken the time to go through all the measures that the state requires to show homeowners that, hey, this is what I have. This is what I'm putting on the table to show that this is my degree. This is my diploma. This is showing you what I'm willing to do to earn your business. And that's what we do as plumbers too. My guys are all licensed. They're all of them are journeymen and apprentices. They're licensed under the law, properly licensed, because I'm making sure that you're getting who you're going to get, and you're getting somebody that's going to be able to guarantee the work and do what they need to do and do it right, because I want people to be happy with the product. You want people to be happy with the product. And I mean, we can go into all the stuff that you do, but the fact that the way you're doing it sets you apart from a lot of the other people online that say, hey, I can do that. Well, you may be able to do that, but you're not doing it like Tony Delgado's doing it. You know,
I try. Thank you.
Well, I mean, it's just like I said. It's a lot of people don't really take into account that. I mean, I could tell you, I've had a couple people that came to work or came to apply to work for my company, and I checked them out, and let me tell you, it's no. I mean, they would just. There was no way. And I'm sending people into somebody's house. They are a representative of my company and what we are, and I've got to make sure they are the best they can be, both personally, both integrity and professionally and mechanically. I mean, they have to be able to do the job. So that's what we do. And I could tell by, just talking about what you went through, you're making sure all your guys do the same thing.
It's important. Yeah, we got to stay on the safe side. Obviously, there's very deep fees when it comes to unlicensed practice or any type of fraudulent misrepresentation in this industry, and I'm going to assume the same in yours. So it is important.
Well,
he is to stay legitimate.
Exactly, and you know what? Again, I would love, and I know you would. I would love to say, well, I could do something for $50. And do a job for, $50 and make it as inexpensive as possible. But unfortunately, there is a lot of governmental requirements that will not let us do that. Right. They just won't let us do that. There's our uncle who wants to get his tax money. And, usually like the uncle that gives money, we got the uncle that takes money. You've got governing bodies that want to make sure that we could do what we say we could do. We have all the licensing and the insurance and making sure that if anything does happen, the people that we're working for are protected. And that's the key thing.
Absolutely.
And that's the main thing of what we're trying to do. But I mean, if you want to run down just I would say just a small bit of what you do on as far as your company, what your company does.
Okay. Well, overall, again, and I'll throw my name out there again. My name is Tony Delgado, lead integrator of smart home technology at Evolution Installs. Who are we? On average, we are our clients' go-to place for installation of smart home technology, fire, life safety, electronic security systems, among others. We are based out of Tinley Park, Illinois. We have been in business for over 15 years, doing business as Evolution Installs under our corporate name, Music Evolution, Inc. As stated, we are licensed with the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago as private alarm contractor agency. State license 127.001-773 and Chicago license ECP 95754. It's always good to throw those license numbers out. It's the right thing to do, especially in our industry. Many of the services we cover on a day-to-day basis include installs for some of the latest smart home trends in alarms, security cameras, electronic surveillance systems, smart lighting, electronic access controlled systems, wireless technologies, along with where we initially got our start, which was pro sound systems, audio visuals, home theater, a lot of TV installs over the past 15 years, stereo system installs, antenna distribution installs, and obviously the core of it all, which is low voltage wiring. Lastly, I would like to add that we follow all state requirements regulated by the Illinois Department of State, hiring vetted security background professionals that hold a security per card. When you're ready to hire us, rest assured you will be in good hands. You can reach us at 708-444-8474. Feel free. You can always text me at 773-297-1473. Our social media tag at Evolution Installs. And that's pretty much the nutshell of things.
No. Brad's got a question here for you. We got a little time for one other thing, and this is gonna tie into plumbing. Go ahead, Brad.
So, with the smart home trends, have you seen any of the sump pump integration systems out there? I know, like Zoller offers one. I'm sure several other companies do, or even just a water alarm that can go in by your sump pump.
Yeah, that's a very good question. A couple of weeks ago, I was actually going to reach out to Steve. So there's a special device that's used with the Ring alarm. By the way, we are a partner installer for Ring, the big security video doorbell company. And recently they've released a new product that I have been using with the alarm system. Obviously, you need to have the burglar or alarm system in place in order to interface this device. And the way it works is you can place it near a sump pump or a ejector pump. If there's water that obviously overflows or spills over, let's just say that. So it'll detect you through your alarm system, through your app. It'll notify you. There's a voice audible. It's not Alexa, but it's related to the platform in the hub that's integrated with the Ring system, and it'll just notify you there's water on the app. You get the alert. There's water alert. Eventually, that could also be interfaced with a professional monitoring feature within the system. So a few weeks ago, I actually had I didn't have the system at my place, and I kind of reinvented the wheel here a little bit. But what I did is I interfaced it inside, so I floated it under the cover for the pit. And so far, I tested it, and it's been going great. So a lot of that stuff, obviously, we try to integrate it into what we can with home automation, and it looks promising. It's live. Everything's active. If you have your phone with the alert, then you can receive notifications quickly, and it could give you thousands of dollars in flooding in your home.
Fantastic.
And I hope that covers the question.
Oh yeah, it does. Tony, I want to thank you for being on. I really appreciate you being on. And I mean, you have no idea how refreshing it is to hear people take pride in what they're doing and to go the extra mile to make sure that you are at the top of your game and that customers and homeowners are protected from just any potential issues that can come up. Not to say that they will, but they can. So I greatly appreciate you being on, and keep killing it.
Thank you for having me here.
Oh yeah, keep killing it. Keep keep moving forward and stay at the top of the game because you're really you impressed me as you were going, just watching you over the past few years. So keep it up, my man.
I appreciate it, and thank you. And I'll meet you out there again. Thank you.
Got it, my man. Time. All right, you have a good one, and we're going to take a break. And coming up out of the break, we're going to have Tom Maslowski with what's going down in J-Town.
What do you want to know?
I want to know what is that? I saw the post on it. I didn't get a chance to really dive into it. My daughter is really into vinyl. She's looking to because she got herself I got her a record player, and she has been really looking for places to pick up stuff. And then I saw you do that. Does he actually? What exactly is that a record store?
Yeah. Yep. Audiophils Records. They're not lying.
Oh my God, they got everything, huh?
Define everything.
Well, I'm not really even sure what she'd want. I mean, her tastes go from anything from she's got Guns N' Roses to Prince to Michael Jackson to The Who. So I mean, you want to talk about all across the board.
Yeah, there's a lot of great stuff there. They've been getting more new music in lately. At first when they opened up, so Phil is a record collector. His whole life he's been into music. His dad was always into records. As a matter of fact, we just talked about this for the Vinyl-thon just over the past weekend here. And so he ended up just being a collector. He's been in bands. He's a drummer. He's a great drummer, actually. He takes part in. Do you guys remember Green Jello?
Yes.
From the 90s, Green
Yes.
Jello or Green Jelly, they had to call themselves.
Uh-huh.
So he's actually, that band has got an interesting story in itself. Long story short on that, it's basically 350 people are in the band, right? So this guy, Bill Manspeaker, goes from town to town all over the world, actually, and he's got a band to play with him in every city. So Phil is one of those people, one of those drummers, and he's a Joliet resident. They do a lot of great stuff for the community, actually. And so they started off almost like a resale shop in a way. Most of the things they had were, vintage records and things like that, which, by the way, he's got a 99-cent bin that will blow you away. There's at least 500 albums, all different crazy stuff. If you like polka or Hawaiian music, there's tons of that, and like old country albums. I found some old big band albums there that were 70 years old and in basically mint condition. The records were spotless. They looked like they had never been played. And you can go in there and learn quite a bit about vinyl and record players. Phil will talk your ear off, man. He's very knowledgeable. It's a really great place, and they're very community driven. They like to organize events. They were doing something called Panic at the Plaza. So in downtown Joliet, in front of the fountain, by the Rialto Square Theater, they were holding a lot of festivals have been happening there, right? There's the New Orleans North. There was Art in the Making. It was an Art Movement Inc. event. There's all kinds of stuff that goes on in there. So they got their stake in Panic at the Plaza, had live music and a bunch of art vendors and, spooky Halloween costume type art vendors and things like that. So they also have a music selection just for local bands. So any bands that have vinyl obviously are in there, but being that, these musicians are just trying to get their stuff out there, they allow local music only to be sold on CD, cassette, or vinyl. They have stickers and shirts there for everybody. They've even brought their whole local music rig out to festivals to, introduce new people to it and sell the stuff and everything. They actually don't charge the musicians a single dollar to sell their stuff there, which I think is amazing. They feel like, cool. A community effort then, they're hoping that you tell your fans to go buy your records there. And if you're there, maybe you're going to see some other stuff, and they feel like it's advertising for them. So it's a win-win situation for everybody. But now that they're established and they're actually on board for Record Store Day. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but all the vinyl shops all over the country participate in Record Store Day. So what happens is there's new releases that bands come out with, signed artists and things like that on major labels. There's certain things that you can only get on Record Store Day. So it makes it like a big event. Now that they're doing that, they're able to get more music in. I bought some Bjork the other day. We got some Deltron 3000 the other day. They do have Guns N' Roses and Sublime and Tool and the Beatles. I mean, they have all the major stuff. The selection is getting bigger. If you don't see something there that you want, they do try to order it for you. So, we were there the other day, for...
that sound you heard? That sound you heard, that like boom? That was my daughter's head exploding because she's been wanting to hit the 90, like those 99-cent bins. She's been wanting to hit these record stores to get that experience because she's, it's a throwback for her. I mean, she's really into those, and she likes the vintage rock shirts. I get her one every year for Christmas. If she doesn't get one, she gets upset. So she's been wanting to go, and the only places we've been able to find are some of these like replay stores, and I'd rather go to, a place like this. I didn't even know they were there. See, that's the cool thing about having someone with your knowledge on the show, because I wouldn't have known, and I'd rather go and talk to a guy like Phil and get some information and buy from him, because it's supporting a lot of local bands and musicians in the area and a local business. So I like that.
Yeah, well, I feel some of the resale shops are doing the same thing too. Like Disc Replay is equally as supportive in the community as anybody else. It's just that when major businesses stopped selling music in general, I think there was definitely a void there that had to be filled. I think people had their run with, digital downloads, and they still have their place. Who wants to bring a record player to like a picnic or on the road or something like that? But I think it made...
They did make a boombox that played that played albums.
Sure.
You remember those?
And there is a portable record player too. Yep, I have one. But is that easier to bring like 50 albums with you for the day, or do you want to just have like your iPod out?
It wasn't.
I think there's a place for it, but
it wasn't
I
the
feel
records.
Like
it was the
I feel
batteries.
like vinyls have made. Say again now.
It wasn't the records. It was the batteries you had to bring to operate it. You had to bring
now you can plug those in.
Well, I mean, you had to bring like
Now they
the
can
portable one. Oh God, I remember that. It was 20D batteries, and I think you got maybe a few hours out of it. I mean, the only one that got really made off of that was Energizer.
There you go.
I mean, seriously. I'm sorry to cut you off. I just remember a guy had one, and that thing was just huge, and the amount of batteries it took, it was just, it cost more to operate it than it did to buy it. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, no, I was just going to say, I think the tangibility of music has kind of made it important a little bit again. I have some students and things, telling me that they went to the rec store this weekend to buy AC/DC, Black Sabbath, and Lynyrd Skynyrd. And there was a lot of things that made me feel, not only are people becoming excited about music again, but it also kind of told me that there was not a lot of new music inspiring people nowadays either. I think there is something missing with that as well, and that's why
it's harder for people to find new music. It
is, and that's why I was kind of taking it upon myself to have one central place for all this new music that is erupting around here, and trying to say local music in a way that inspires you instead of they're the local bands in the area. They're probably not so good. They probably just But these are musicians actually that we're proud of. We want you to know that they're from your backyard because there's these amazing musicians. Technically, you should have to pay top dollar to see, but yet you could go into this pub or go to this festival for $5 or for sometimes for nothing and see just amazing music. I don't know how else to say it without, being a dead horse, but this is genuine stuff. These are artists that are doing it because they love music and not because, they're being told to play a certain style or a certain way because they're signed to a contract. I don't think it gets any better than that. And a huge community erupted out of that. And I think I've already covered that on the first time I was on the show. So I don't want to be repeating myself too much on everybody here. We're all very excited about our community, and we've all, whether you're a restaurant owner or a fan, a customer, everyone has been pulling together to try to get as loud as we can to let people know that these things are happening in downtown Joliet. And,
well, that's
we hope that we can reach some more ears on this topic, Well,
that's why you're on the show. I'm sorry, Brett. I was
actually gonna say what else, speaking of what's going on in Joliet, what's coming up that we should know about?
Well, right now there are two contests going on. One is the Heritage Corridor. Let me pull this up real quick. It's the Joliet Area Restaurant Week. It actually lasts the whole month. It goes through April 30th. So this is a contest. So there are some participating restaurants that you can go to and order specials. And if you order the special and take your picture, there's a QR code you can enter in and win prizes and things like that. And let me look up the restaurants here, because the restaurant area, the Joliet Area Restaurant Week, covers more than just downtown. There are, let me see, so the 99 Hops House. This is the place in the Joliet Casino, in the LaHood Casino in Joliet. We got Al's Steakhouse and Banquets on Jefferson, and the new Bishop's Winery in Joliet, which is a really interesting place. And I host a podcast called What's Going Down in Downtown J-Town. We've done some interviews about this topic, actually, briefly with the Joliet Public Library. We were talking about Daniel Burnham, who helped build a lot of these iconic buildings of the era. And one of them was where the Bishop's Hill Winery was in Joliet. It kind of led to the conversation, I should say. He didn't build that place. But there were some old breweries in Joliet that this is a place where this guy was living. It was where he did his cold brew. It's where he, would let his lagers ferment and things like that. And it was like an underground tunnel, an underground cellar, so to speak. So recently someone bought it, and it is now the Bishop's Hill Winery. They are on this list for the restaurant week. So basically what you're doing is you're going, when you buy something to eat or drink, you can take a picture of it and enter it into to win a contest. There's all kinds of prizes and gift cards and things like that. We have Burger Theory. There's also Katrina's Mex, Chevrolet Latin Cafe, which if you haven't been to Chevrolet Latin Cafe, that's definitely some unique food.
That place is
Venezuelan
the
food
best.
is very good. Yeah, it's amazing. Brad,
Yeah.
I would recommend the arepas.
Highly
I'm a
recommend.
I'm a huge fan of the pork arepas. Those
I
are
have
my
never
favorite.
been.
Get some plantains.
I'm going.
We should go after the show.
Yeah, I have never been.
And then ask for the special, ask for the Restaurant Week special so that you can enter in the contest. There's also Cut 158 that is a steakhouse in downtown Joliet, right in between. It's actually right across the street from the Joliet Public Library. We got the Final Cut Steakhouse in Hollywood Casino Joliet, Great American Bagel, Hamburger Saria, which that is a pretty cool hamburger place, actually. I recommend the peanut butter cheeseburger, just saying.
Whoa.
Sounds weird, but you should probably eat it.
It does.
The Happy Falafel in Plainfield. We got Here's West Sports Grill. And I don't think they get enough attention, actually. I think people kind of overlook Heroes West a little bit. They have some actually really great food over there. Fan of their burgers. They got good barbecue, actually. Their pulled pork and their brisket is all right, man. The Jacob Henry Mansion Estate, Jitters Coffee House, which has Intelligentsia coffee, no big deal. They also have some great sandwiches there. I know I'm kind of going to be phasing those out, so I would get over there as soon as you can and request the muffaletta. It's amazing. The American Legion, the Joliet American Legion, I should say, Migraine Brewing. That is a great place for some good beer. They have a lot of local art hanging up on their walls as well. We got the Pappas Gourmet Popcorn in Joliet, Public Landing Restaurant in Lockport. That is a heck of a dinner if you've never been there. Really good place. The Reserve Steakhouse, also at Harrah's in Joliet. Chevrolet at City Center in Joliet. The Sunshine Mexican Cafe. I have a special place in my heart for the Sunshine Mexican Cafe. The place is so clean. I went in there. I heard about them being open. They were a taco truck that decided to open a restaurant on Jackson and Scott right behind the car wash. It is amazing food. I do not like skirt steak. And they were trying to boast about their skirt steak. Hey, you want to try? Try. No, I hate it. And, it was like I slapped him in the face. Okay, you had the wrong kind. I'm like, I know. I keep hearing this. So they convinced me to get the skirt steak. And they let me go in the back to take video of them making my food. It was so clean back there that I could have eaten right off the counter. They prepared the food. They pulled a skirt steak out of this marinade and this little refrigeration bin they have, threw it right on the skillet. They're making all their tortillas, not just from scratch, but made to order. So I watched Jesse pat up some tortillas, throw them on the griddle, showed me the method of how long to wait and what it would do, and it was ready. And before COVID, I'm so tired of saying that phrase, they made all of their own hot sauces, which I know most places do, but they had a hot sauce bar, and that was kind of like heaven for me. I love hot sauce, kind of be too much. So
that is pretty
Sunshine
cool.
Mexican Cafe.
That's kind of people allowing you to make the food in front of you is really lost. There's not a whole lot of people that do that. And I've got two restaurants that it was almost like a country grill where the lunch counter was right in front of the grill and they made everything in front of you, which I thought was pretty cool. You got to see them make your food. Everything was clean. There was another place.
Little diner.
Yeah, it was a great little diner. It was owned by a guy who came up here from Tennessee and brought the little flavor with it. It was really a really nice place. There's another breakfast place that made their stuff behind the counter or behind, like in the kitchen. And I was telling them about this place that made it in front of you. And the response was really troubling to me. They said, I would never make the food in front of the patrons.
Well,
and I was like, why? Well, they don't need to know. Actually, I do. I mean, I when somebody's watching you, that means they have nothing to hide. If you're doing it in front of them, there's nothing to hide. There's, I don't want no 5-second rule with my food. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't want that to happen. I mean, that's just, I know it sounds like I'm 5, but you know what? But I mean, to see that, somebody making it in front of you. And also our licenses our plumbing license is from the Illinois Department of Public Health. So, I mean, it's the same people that sign off on the stuff that you see in the restaurants that they're giving their public health. They're signing our licenses. So, and working in restaurants and doing work to keep them operating, we've seen some very, very clean kitchens, and we've seen some ones that were not so good. So to say, that says a lot when they're inviting you back, making the food. That's really cool to actually see that happen. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, let me film it too. And funny story about that, I was so embarrassed. I had just gotten my new iPhone, right? My one was so bad that I had to have it plugged in at all times or it would just shut off, right? So I was super excited. Got back there. I don't know these people. I'm kind of nervous a little bit, I feel like an idiot a little bit. I'm like, hey, I'm this guy who likes food. Can I come and take some pictures for my thing?
I forgot
come on
this.
back. So I never pressed record. So I'm zooming in, man. We're talking. I'm getting good shots and everything, and never pressed record. Come on. The greatest moment ever.
Oh,
I'm new. I'm learning. No, I'm learning. Eventually, I have a camera crew that'll press record for me, right?
But you know what? That
unbelievable.
It's innocent. It's just don't do it when you have kids because you don't get you never hear the end of that one, and you don't get a second chance to do it. Let me tell you. So I mean,
and just to wrap it up, and I didn't do a great job here of telling you guys what was on the menu and on the Heritage Corridor. Joliet area restaurant week. Sill's Steakhouse is in there as well. They have some great food. I feel they're a hidden gem. I think a lot of people know about them, and enough people knew about them to maybe talk a little less. And it was just a given that Sill's was there. But my wife and I are going. We don't get to have too many times to hang out with each other. So when we can, we head to Sill's on Sunday nights for dinner, and it's a great steak. I've actually gone down quite a few menu items, and I've not been disappointed.
Yeah, their prime rib is out of this world.
It's pretty insane. I mean, and to have an all-you-can-eat breakfast brunch on Sunday for $20 and prime rib is on the menu is kind of out of control.
What is the website?
Sandwich.
Is there a website where people can look this up and as far as check out all these restaurants if they wanted to look at it? Because I mean, you're just rattling off a lot of things. It's cool.
Yeah, a little bit too much and poorly, I may add.
No, you're doing great.
It is the Heritage Corridor. It's the Joliet area restaurant week. It's the first thing that pops up when you type that in. And once I get off the phone with you guys, I will pin to the top of what's going down in downtown J-Town's page on Facebook, the things that we're talking about here today. Heritage Corridor, look up. And even if you type in Joliet area restaurant week 2021, it will pop up. You can also find it on Facebook too, I'm sure. But the quickest way is just typing it into your browser. The other contest happening that I want to talk about, too, is the Eat to Win, hosted by the Joliet City Center Partnership. This one is cool, too. It's a similar idea where you're going to downtown businesses. So we're talking about Chicken and Spice, K-Ribs Barbecue, which is a Korean barbecue place, is completely insanely great, and it's super reasonable cheap. They're also cooking everything right in front of you. There is Jitters. There is Cut 158, Chevrolet Latin Cafe, the Route 66 Diner, which I highly recommend. The spicy chicken omelet or the spicy chicken skillet is kind of like my favorite thing. Chicago Street Pub, Blue Taco. Did I say Chevrolet Latin Cafe twice? Elder Brewing.
You can say them twice.
Migraine. Did I like it? I want to make sure I covered all my bases here.
We are going to be running out of time, so we got to hit everything else. Is there a website we can hit that too? Or we can check that out?
Yeah.
The
you can look on the Joliet City Center Partnership on Facebook, or if you also look it up online too, you'll find it right away. And if you type in to win Joliet, that's what got me there pretty quickly.
Awesome.
But it is the Joliet City Center Partnership. And you were talking about wrapping things up pretty quick here. Bobby Peel is a local teacher who does special needs classes and things like that. He decided during COVID that she wanted to do something more for the community and got her certification to be a yoga instructor. And what she ended up doing, every other week, she'll do a Zoom yoga class. And instead of keeping the money for herself, she picks a Joliet business, charity, artist, musician, anybody who's doing something positive in the community. She donates the money to those places or businesses. So even if you're not into yoga or you're embarrassed or whatever, you can still go and donate. I will be posting that. Her yoga group page, she's a little bit shy about it. She doesn't want it to be like, me kind of thing. The Half Moon Yogi is her Facebook group. She's also on Instagram under the same name, the Half Moon Yogi. And I think what she's doing is really great. She has been donating to all different kinds of organizations and charities. It's a very worthwhile cause. She's a really great person. She also helps out bartending at Elder Brewing Company, another great place, also on the Joliet City Center Partnership Eat to Win contest. So everyone's kind of working together to get the word out there. But again, I'll have all this stuff posted on what's going down in downtown J-Town.
Fantastic. I was going to say, I was fortunate to meet Bobby, and she's just a great person to boot. So to see good people doing good things like this is fantastic. I'm a big fan of it. Love it. So, Tom, how do people look? How do people look you up?
I'm kind of one of those people that maybe post more often than they should. And the reason for that, I'd like to go on record,
okay,
is I'm hoping that what's going down downtown J-Town could be a community bulletin board. I'm posting all these things so often, not to want you to see them right away, but just to have them all in one place. Feel free to go to my page and just scroll through. You will see tons of events. Actually, the Forge in downtown Joliet does a thing where they invite me to help host a lot of their shows. What that means basically is just all their concerts pop up on my events tab. So if you look for what's going down in downtown J-Town, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
All right, brother. Thank you for being on here. We always seem to run out of time because not enough here. I appreciate you being on the show. And till next week, man, we'll see you then.
Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, brother. Thank you. And coming up next week's guests, we've got Matt Pear from 4foryou.com and Tom Maslowski, which you just heard from, with what's going down in J-Town. And don't forget to catch the finale of high school football game of the week on WJOL. And remember to go to the prize vault for your chance to win a Navi and Tankless water heater. And also, I will be on the Brent Wilkie Show this Wednesday, 9 to 10. I'll be a guest.
You can reach us at preparettorepair@gmail.com, prepare2repair.com, Facebook at prepare2repair. You can also listen to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and our YouTube channel.
So if they have any questions, they can reach out to us on there.
Yeah. Anything about licensing, anything we talk about, feel free, reach out, send us a message. We'd be happy to help.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Thank you, our guests.